Good evening. This is Darian Rakestraw. I'm reporting on my pilot study for healthcare regulatory compliance in higher education. My pilot study is designed to identify healthcare breaches in higher education and answer two specific questions. Are higher education covered entities in California compliant with federal and state healthcare regulations? Two, what are the impacts to the university and its patients? My methods for this investigation was a quantitative non-experimental research study utilizing secondary data collected from a data breach report from 2016 from the state of California Department of Justice, the Multi-State Information Sharing Analysis Center, Office of Civil Rights. Upon collecting this data, I was able to aggregate data from all reports and to drill down specifically to the University of California data breaches and look at all sectors. I was unable to separate all of the sectors of the University of California, but able to just get the entire report from the universities themselves, on the universities themselves. Within the report itself, I was able to determine approximately two specific issues I was able to notice. One, there's data breaches within Social Security numbers. Roughly 24 million Social Security numbers were exposed between the period of 2012 and 2015, the next 4-year period. In addition to that, healthcare records were exposed. Roughly 18 million healthcare records were exposed during the same time frame between 2012 and 2015. What's significant about that is additional medical records usually contain some form of additional private or personal identifier information, including a Social Security number. So I will drill it down a little bit further which institutions were impacted by these data breaches. Healthcare regulatory compliance in California, specifically relating to healthcare centers or healthcare providers, reference roughly 6 universities within the university system based on out of a total of 10. These 6 universities had data breaches between 2011 and 2015. 2011 is a number a little bit different than what you heard earlier, and the reason why 2011 is included is that was the first year that was actually allowed to report or attest to compliance. That attestation was based upon the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. Universities had to attest to the meaningful use of electronic records if they were considered a covered entity or provide services. Of those universities, UC Irvine was the first to do so. UC Irvine had multiple breaches between 2011 and 2015, as well as University of California, Berkeley, and I believe UC Davis also had multiple violations of HIPAA breaches and reporting those incidents as well. What's significant about the reporting is the universities had to attest to compliance to HIPAA regulatory compliance, as well as high tech, as well as the meaningful use portion of the act, that's a separate function, as well as being able to apply or comply with state regulatory compliance, which references the same federal laws, but they also have additional sets that pertain to meaningful use as well, and as privacy as well. Those additional funds provided by the state were roughly $30 million over a period between 2010 and 2018. Thus far, all the universities have accepted and used those funds towards regulatory compliance between 2010 and June 15th of 2015. The significance of this reporting on this is the fact that the universities themselves have declared themselves or attested to being compliant with federal law as well as state law, yet they have significant breaches during that same time frame. What's alarming about this is not so much just a breach, but the volume of breaches. The volume of the data being breached at the universities is staggering. Based on the compliance required for the federal insurance plan, an average breach is roughly 51,000 breaches per incident. The median was reported at 2,739 breaches based on the plan, but the standard deviation was different because of the size and scope of these actual breaches. Standard deviation was over 200,311 during the same time frame. Now, if based on purely just medical reporting, the breach size was much smaller, roughly 22,000 records were exposed, and the median report was roughly 2,284, and standard deviation is 709. This reporting is not only significant just because of the breaches. This reporting is important because of the type of breaches that are happening and why. And the understanding why requires further study that will include some type of qualitative reporting as well. And I intend to do that in my future research. Thank you for your time. Good day.